Unlike what a lot of my comments have told me, I have actually played a Pokemon game. That experience is going to be what carries me through today's challenge, a Pokémon Nuzlocke. It's not so cookie cutter though. I know what you guys really like, and it isn't direct surface level plagiarism with degrading quality of understanding. What you all want is stakes. There aren't too many stakes higher for me than one of my favorite collectibles, Pokemon cards. I win, I keep the cards. I lose, they meet an untimely demise. Pretty simple. Before I get started though, there are of course some ground rules. First, a disclaimer. Don't do anything you see me do in this video. As far as you're concerned, I am a trained professional. I don't want any of you hurting yourselves or your collections, so leave the poor decision making to me. If you are the Pokemon company watching this, and you want to work with me in the future, everything in this video is parody as far as you know, and I will be patiently waiting for your email. On to the real rules. I will be playing the game Pokémon Unbound for the sake of getting to go in blind. It adds to the challenge and allows for me to experience a new story. Second, we should establish what Nuzlocke rules even are. Every Pokemon captured must be nicknamed. This is so I will get more attached to them. I'm not good at making entertaining nicknames though, so I reached out to my subscribers to help me out. Feel free to subscribe so you can participate in something like this in the future. When a Pokemon faints, I cannot use it again and it will be released back into the wild. After the Pokemon is released, I will destroy a card in a punishment themed after the card itself. Lastly, only the first Pokemon that shows up on any given route is catchable. This applies to places like caves too, and different floors of the same cave will not count as new locations. Static encounters, gift Pokemon and shinies I will take, but I will not use them in the challenge if I can. Third and most excitingly, what am I wagering? What cards are getting put on the hopefully metaphorical chopping block? Bogalio GX, Flapple VMAX, Phoebe, Urshifu V, Reshiram, Calyrex V, Flying Pikachu, Leafeon VMAX, First Edition Dark Dragonite, and Special Delivery Bidoof. Without further ado, a world of dreams and adventures await. Let's get started. Pokemon Unbound starts with a lot of lore, which this video doesn't really need to recap. War, death, evil people, the usual Pokemon story. It does allow you to customize your character though, which is pretty cool. I chose the girl because I can't think of a Pokemon game where the male protagonist is better. I think we still have work to do normalizing guys picking the girl characters. I was made fun of it for when I was little. You don't get long after choosing your character before you're kidnapped by Hoopa and promptly placed in prison. This is where the game begins. Your cellmate is also your rival, who I got nervous being on camera without a plan and only named him A. Together we found a cage that gave us the choice to pick one of 3 Pokemon, Beldum, Larvitar, or Gible. I went with Beldum, and as the rules state, I had to give them a nickname. Luckily, names had already started to roll in, and the first one I got was Banana Slamma, which was shortened to Banana Slam for the game, and just Banana for the overlay. Of course, we break out of prison and meet the professor of this region, Professor Log. Ignoring the aforementioned felony, he sends us on the usual parcel retrieval, but this time it's a little more intense than other games.
Put it in! You're facing the wrong way, sir.
After almost stopping the poaching of a legendary bird, I went back to the professor and received the Pokédex, which was the official start of the challenge, and oh gosh was my blood pressure already rising. Luckily, I was able to prolong the inevitable by crashing the game before leaving the lab and having to start again from the beginning. Pardon me while I catch up. Now, let's go head to the next town over and catch our first Pokemon. No surprise based on the scenery, it was a Snorunt, but I'm not complaining because I love ice types. It will be named Dragonoram after another sub, but not only did it not fit, I misspelled it. That's my bad. I felt so bad about it, I almost missed our next encounter in the ice caves, a Makuhita. I promptly named it Mikahita after another sub. I don't know about y'all, but I think our ragtag team is coming together. And I'm glad because shortly after the catch, I ran into my first surprise rival battle. I wasn't scared until I remembered that his Gibble has Fire Fang, which brought Banana down to 2 health, but with some flashes and some very lucky misses, I ended up winning the fight. This is going to be a long game. Regardless, he tells us that the first gym leader will use the move Poison Powder, which means Banana will continue to carry me in the early game. On Route 2, I found a Rattata, which I thought, oh well, early routes are never very cool, until I saw the other, much cooler Pokemon I could have had. Regardless, he was caught and named Joey after, the comfy shorts guy. On the way to the next town, I was given the choice to either teleport to the town or cross through the Challenger Road. I'm no baby, so I took the Challenger Road, and this is when it happened. Horrible for me, but probably good for viewer retention. Our first loss. I started listening to a podcast and was kind of mashing through the fights because I thought I was cracked, but I was wrong. Sadly, Snorunt, Dragonoram, is no longer with us, and this means our first card destroyed will be Solgaleo GX. Let's get to that, I guess. Solgaleo from hit game Pokémon Sun is known for using the power of just that, the sun. This means a fitting death would be me utilizing the force of the sun. We are going to burn a hole in this card using a magnifying glass. Goodbye, Solgaleo. I added Snorunt to the RIP list, and now he gets a proper goodbye. Rest easy, buddy. Learning my lesson, I bought some potions and antidotes and decided to grind some. Little did I know I could move on to Route 3, meaning I fairly quickly get to replace Snorunt. Or at least I could've if I didn't kill the Wingull immediately. After moving on to make a grinding montage, I came across a sign, pointing me to a flowery path where I met our next addition, Sayori the Cutie Fly. One grind and one evolution later, here are our standings. Now for the first gym. Despite the fog in the room and the double battle format, the gym leader stood no chance, sweeping his team with basically just Banana. Not only was he beaten, but he was chased off by the cops for being an over-the-top stoner stereotype. One gym down and one card lost. Hopefully this trend doesn't continue. On my way to stop another bird poaching, I caught a Weedle, immediately turned Kakuna, immediately turned Beedrill, who I named Itachi, and a Lillipup, immediately turned Herdier, I named Scoobin-Doo, this time per Twitter's request. One failed encounter and one more evolution later, the story finally continues, as those evil dudes very believably hold down Moltres with their bare hands and catch it. And I have to team up with this nerd to stop them. I can't complain too much though because Mikahita evolved, which was awesome, though it does make the name make a lot less sense. Considering my success rate so far, next I head out to save Zapdos, and on my way, I got a Nidoran male who I named Little Man. He doesn't stay little long though, as just as most Pokemon I had caught before, it evolved immediately. Anyways, I've done enough talking. Let's do another grinding montage. With this team, let's play some Metal Gear Solid and partake in another easy, no-worry sweep in the second gym. Then, I decided to do side quests, cause why not? Maybe I'll get something cool from completing it. And, oh, can I even put that in the video? Please stop saying that. I'm okay, thank you. On my way to bring justice to the birds, I caught both a Phanpy, who I named Winston Word, and a Spinarak I named Donald, which isn't from anything, I just thought I'm not gonna need him ever. I found an Abra, but forgot they have Teleport, and got to fight my rival again. This late in the game, he still only has 3 Pokemon, and after his random barrage, Scoobin-Doo evolved once again. The extra muscle is appreciated, as while fighting a nurse to heal my Pokemon after a very long route, some more negligence led to the death of Itachi, marking our second card gone. And I have to go all the way back through the mountain to go release him. At least Phanpy gets some spotlight now. Never mind. Welcome back, Joey. This is going to be a 2-for-1 special, Flapple and Phoebe. For Flapple, we all know that Appleton is a superior evolution, and I'll teach that to Flapple the hard way by putting them in a McDonald's apple pie. Next is Phoebe, the ghost trainer, who I wasn't sure what to do, so I just cut it in half and left it until 3 AM. You won't believe what happens next. Beating the third gym and doing some exploring led Little Man to getting to level 36, which I thought was the perfect time to evolve him into Nidoking. Then I accidentally walked into something I don't think I should have. Moving into the next town, I have the opportunity to catch 2 Pokémon. A Lotad, my favorite evolutionary line, named Captain K from Twitter, and the other one, we don't talk about it. Don't worry, just because I had time to say that sentence doesn't mean Captain K does not evolve immediately. I did some more grinding, but before we go to the next gym, we do have some more story to attend to. We chase a guy down, they threaten to kill a woman, we beat them, my head gets cut off for a couple seconds, and on to the 4th gym. It was normal type, so I was super confident going in, but it was all inverse battles, so I lost my advantage. Regardless, no problems here, let's move on. On the next route, I realized I forgot to hit record the hard way when Metagross evolved, and I only got to catch it after it happened. It's been a while since we've caught a new Pokemon, so I'll make it up to you all with 2. A Golbat named Happy Birthday, mostly, and an Execute named Reginald, as a reminder of why I rely on YouTube comments from my names. Then, in my next couple steps, I found a shiny Metatite, which after some research I am allowed to catch. He will be Hayden Jr., because only something so special can carry on the family name. Sticking to my same team though, I take on the Mega Evolution Mansion and get myself the Mega Ring. This is useless as of now as I don't have any stones for the Pokemon I have. Riding this high, I'm humbled very quick after I kill an Elekid on the next catchable encounter. It would have been a small loss if the Electabuzz line wasn't another one of my favorites. Just like the endgame of any Pokemon Unite match, Zapdos is all the evil team needs to win, even if I beat the guy who caught him. This is where it dawned on me I might have grinded too much, but also I'm not complaining. My Dark Dragonite is sweating after some of my sillier mistakes. One more surprise rival fight and... I also caught my first fire type, a Ponyta named Hitsu. My luck keeps on going as the next town over sold water stones, and about 16 levels later than I'd like, I have my favorite Pokemon. After I take abysmally long on a tile puzzle, it feels like the story is about to reach a climax when I need to boss rush legendary Pokemon from Hoopa's portals. This is where I very quickly learned I was not over level. That or this game has a little too tough of a difficulty curve. 3 legendary beasts all around level 50 was a huge jump, and despite being intimidating, we lost no one. This only validates over grinding in the future, so if you were upset about that, tough. I reached the place where it was all going down. Big twist, evil Hoopa released, yada yada. Oh great, now I have to fight the Johto box legendaries. And I was right when I said I wasn't invincible, because I then suffer a devastating loss. My little man. We won the fight, though it's a little bittersweet. Then I am banished to Brazil, where God himself judges my sins and lets me evade eternal damnation as long as I stop the evil organization. Jeez. No time to reflect though, because I have to go do the hardest thing of all. And now we're getting a little closer to my nice cards, so this will be hard too. Urshifu V is holding a big rock in his card. Obviously he thinks he's hot stuff. Let's see if he can use Brick Break on this. The story is now in full swing, having me next fight Groudon in a volcano, and something tells me this won't be the last legendary Pokemon thrown at us. And yikes, was it close. During the Token Evil Team base break-in, Hitsu evolves, bringing us back to a fully evolved team. Shortly after, we get to fight the old evil boss one more time. He finds out I'm the chosen one, and we team up against the new evil boss. Not until I beat the 5th gym leader, that is. I also went to the desert on my way and caught a Hippowdon named Sableye. I was kind of hoping for a Trapinch or something, but you know, I don't discriminate. Now we get to break into the other evil base, and this time we fight people, like half Pokemon, half human people. After laying some souls to rest, I get to partake in my first intense fight with Hoopa, and oh, back to Brazil. Actually, this time it's the Distortion world. 20 minutes of puzzle solving later, and some light negotiations with Satan, and we're back. Next, we have to take on the 6th gym in the center of Gang Violent City. They couldn't even get a Nurse Joy to work here, and I have to pay for my own healthcare. And oh, great, this again. After the recent scares though, I need to get some grinding before I go into this gym, and I'm glad I did, because the leader took away my ability to use fairy-type attacks. Not that it really mattered though. I plan on speedrunning through the next gym too, but first I get to play a fun mini-game to catch something in the Safari Zone. The 7th gym was actually one of the easiest, as Ludicolo is a good counter to water types, and the constant rain allowed for him to outspeed her whole team. One more Scooby-Doo sounding name later, I get to face off with both Reshiram and Zekrom in what was one of the most scariest fights. Not only were the enemies strong, but my rival, who I was teamed up with, was throwing earthquakes out like it was nothing. Luckily, we survived to reach the conclusion of the story. Hoopa is a pushover, the villain escapes, and the bad guy turned good guy gets arrested, cause no redemption arc clears your name of turning humans into Pokemon. This time, I get to take Hoopa in as my own, and it isn't a Wooper, but I'm going to take from this YouTube comment and name him Hoop Hoop. It might seem like I'm glossing over a lot of the story, and that's because I am. You should play the game for yourself, it's been really fun. No time to fawn though, as my rival wants one more battle to show his strength, which he didn't. In the final gym, your Pokemon de-evolve instead of fainting, as long as there's something for them to go back to. This means my team each had 2 or 3 lives. This made it by far the easiest fight, and now we get to go through Victory Road. This is where I catch what I believe will be our final Pokemon, named after my current predicament with names. This is a super cool rendition of Victory Road, with some fun puzzles and some puzzles I totally didn't have to search up videos to solve. Regardless, we are here, the final challenge, the final threat to my beautiful collection. The first thing we need to do is stock up and prepare, and by that I mean grind. Also, shout out to this NPC who tells you who the Elite Four are, because I would have been out of luck if you didn't. Here is our team after the grind, and let's do this. Starting with the literal corpse trainer, Elias. We won without any losses, but there were way too many close calls. This is not a good tell for the rest of the Elite Four. Next, we move on to the actual child, Annabelle. And even though I absolutely dunked on her, she was a good sport about it. Spirits are now pretty high going into my fight with the Mole Man, who I forgot to click record during his intro, so I drew it. Even though I wasn't expecting a double battle, I was able to get through with some forward thinking teaching Scoobin Ice Fang, and some lucky critical hits. Last is Penny, who being the Dragon type trainer I saved for last, assuming she would be the strongest, but despite one close call, it was kind of a blowout having a fairy type on my team. Thank you, Sayori. They kept saying all throughout the game that there wouldn't be a champion, so I guess this is it. I sure hope there isn't some twist where I have to fight someone that oh. Well, he was a pushover most of the game, so how bad can this be? Well guys, we did it. We reached the end, we won, we are the champion. Now, I only have one more thing to do. Reshiram is famous for his attack Blue Flare, so I wanted him to die as he lived. Luckily, these little fire coloring packets I bought at the grocery store totally worked wonderfully, and there he goes. Lastly is Calyrex V, who, being the Ice Rider, shouldn't have a problem being put in my freezer for a day or two. And that's it. After having so many grinding montages, I thought the best ending would be to have a montage to honor all those who we lost along the way. Before that, thank you all for watching, and be sure to subscribe. It's free, so you'll always get your money's worth.
Your name will be recorded. recorded for posterity here. What you're leaving are the memories of your journey so far. It's time to record your names. You and your Pokémon. Remember, your Pokémon are your partners that grew with you through many hard-fought battles.